Hey guys, this is going to be about my skincare story. So I took some notes because if you get me talking about this, it's like an hour past and I'm like still gabbing on. So I want to keep this short and to the point, but I want to kind of let you know where I'm coming from. So I have a 2-year-old, and when I was pregnant with him, of course my skin went totally just like bat crazy, and I managed it, but then after he was born it kind of went crazy again, but it dried up. Like it was like I was putting Vaseline on my face at night and it still was not doing anything, which I now know is terrible for you, but it was really bad, especially like right here in these patches. So the place that I was living at the time was really dry, like just our apartment complex, and the way the heat worked was really dry. So I had a humidifier, but it still wasn't helping very much. And then we moved to the south. We were in the north. We moved to the south, and I had to start taking allergy pills again because things never die here because it never gets cold enough. So again, my skin just started to like really dry up, and it got so dry to the point that I couldn't put anything on it. And I think looking back now, I know that my pH was off. So I would use these, cleansers that were for oily skin because I have oily combination skin. I've got a nice little glow going right now, and I just blotted, so I was using these cleansers that were marketed towards oily skin, and they strip the oils from your skin, and then your skin just reacts to overproduce because it doesn't have any, and so it starts making more. So then you just wind up with even oilier skin. But at the same time, my skin was severely dehydrated. And there's not a whole lot out there about dehydrated skin because I was drinking like gobs of water. I was still nursing at the time, so you have to just keep drinking water or you'll have other health issues from mastitis and things. So I was dealing with dehydrated skin, and it got to the point where I was reacting to everything. I was reacting to anything with fragrance. I was reacting to anything with a acidic pH, and I am so glad that Whole Foods has the policy that it does, because I think that they actually thought I was like trying to pull one over on them because I returned so many products. Like I would try something and my skin would react to it, and so like a week later I would go back and try something else, and it was just bad. It was just bad, guys. Like big fat welts on my face, like over here. I just wanted to like itch them off, and I'm like, honey, what do I do? And he's like trying to help me at night, and it was just bad. So literally, I just did some research and I just said, forget it. I'm making my own. Not even kidding you. I'm making my own. So I went to Whole Foods and I got several different kinds of oils and some aloe and some glycerin, and I started oil cleansing. I will link some good resources below about the oil cleansing method, but I just kind of forgot about traditional cleansers and started to oil cleanse, and I think it really started to restore my natural pH balance to my skin. So I started doing that, and then kind of through that process I started to understand what my skin actually needs, which I'm not going to disclose how old I am, but it's kind of ridiculous that I'm just now understanding how to treat my skin. So there's that. But I started to deal with the dehydration, and the only ways that I understood I could, I made a like hydration mist that was homemade. It had a little bit of glycerin, a little bit of like argan oil, a positive oil that's not going to make you break out, and a whole lot of aloe. So essentially the glycerin is a humectant, so you put it on your skin and then it draws in the moisture from the air. And when you're living in a dry place, if you add glycerin to something like aloe, the glycerin will help the aloe like seep into the skin a little bit more, because if you just spray like Evian, those Evian mists, it's actually not doing anything because the water just evaporates off of your skin and it makes it even drier. So I used a little glycerin and some aloe and some rose water because that really helps with redness, and I just kind of like stuck with oil cleansing and my hydration mists. And just at night I would massage a little bit of avocado oil into my skin after I had cleansed it, and it really helped, guys. I think that was like the turning point. So then I started slowly adding things back, and I started trying a cleanser from Juice Beauty because I had heard really good things about the pH level of that. It has a really neutral pH, and I started I think the other thing I was doing wrong was I was over exfoliating. If you've ever experienced those like random little whiteheads that pop up overnight, then odds are you're over exfoliating. Like your only breakouts should be these like really under the surface kind of hormonal diet related type things. If they're really little ones that just kind of pop up, then you're kind of scrubbing your skin too hard and you're allowing things to get in there into the top of your pores that will cause you to break out. So I was exfoliating every morning in the shower with like a physical exfoliant as opposed to like an acid or a chemical one. And I thought that's what I needed because my skin would get really like dry and sloppy, but again, it was just contributing to the pH balance problem. The other thing that happened with my skin was that I was allergic to things, and not in the way you would think. I actually can't wear most drugstore lipsticks because they make my lips react, and not in like a sexy plumping way, but like a itchy, like down here it gets really itchy and irritated and just really unpleasant and tingly feeling. So I was also experiencing that, so I was having issues with my makeup too. Okay, so my skincare were straightened out, but still when I would wear makeup, it would get really itchy right in here and really, I couldn't wear makeup the whole day. So at that time I was using Bare Minerals, the mineral foundation, and I think that was it. I don't think I was even wearing a whole lot of concealer. I would just use Bare Minerals and a little bit of my NARS blush. And I didn't really wear eye makeup. You know, I have never understood people who could wear makeup every day. Like, it makes me want to scratch my eyeballs out to wear like mascara every day or eyeliner and eyeshadow every day. I just can't handle it. I wake up with these little like crusties in my eyes and it's just bad news. So I started to think, well, maybe it's because I'm using the wrong stuff. So it turns out I was using stuff that I thought was okay, you know, like a Physicians Formula eyeliner and whatever mascara I had gotten from a promotion at Sephora, you know, like the little Lancome minis or something like that. But it was just, they were just chock full of everything. And not even kidding you, I went into Sephora once and asked, I said, I have this eyeliner from Urban Decay and it really irritates my eyes. And she goes, well, what color is it? And I said, I think it was purple. And she goes, well, purple pigments have been known to react to people. What? The pigment is like the safest thing in there. And she tells me that the pigment is the thing that I'm reacting to. That's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. So anyway, I went into Lush and I got one of their color supplements, which essentially you could like add to a moisturizer for it to be a tinted moisturizer. You could spot conceal with it just using the product straight up. It's like a foundation type thing that you can kind of multitask with depending on the coverage that you want. You can add it to other products, etc. I started to use that and I was pretty pleased with it. But then later on, I learned that it doesn't have the best ingredients for you. So I'm going to do a whole nother video on my natural standards and what ingredients I tend to stay away from and what I'm willing to compromise on and all those kinds of things. But this is more about my story. So I had kind of sorted out my skincare using the oil cleansing method, and I was slowly, you know, adding back products, and I was careful to stay away from anything with mineral oil. Such as like any petroleum-based products, which is actually really difficult to find for chapsticks, and moisturizers. So I was staying away from mineral oil, I was staying away from any synthetic fragrance, and let's see, what else was I staying away from? Any sort of paraben, any sort of silicone, and preferably the paraben alternative, which I can never say correctly, so it's down here, that one. So I stayed away from all of those things, and I was really pleased. I was really pleased with the products I was able to find. I was really pleased with what they were doing for my skin, but I was still dealing with this dehydration. And I was drinking plenty of water, you know, it wasn't that. And then I realized that maybe it was in the supplements I was taking. So I started taking flax seed oil, which is a high source of omega-3. You could also take fish oils, or you could, you know, incorporate things into your diet like hemp seeds or chia seeds. Those are both good natural sources of omega-3s. And or just like vitamin E capsules, that would be beneficial as well. But that has really like turned the table and kind of, you know, capped off the story. So now I'm so happy with my skin, yay! So those would be, you know, my suggestions. Think about oil cleansing or cleansing balm that has good ingredients in it. Use a cleanser that's not going to strip the oils from your skin, and just let your skin kind of learn itself again without having to do any crazy things to it. And keep yourself well hydrated, and also make sure that you're getting all the fatty acids that you need through those omega-3s and supplements if you want to go that way. Flaxseed oil is a great vegan alternative if you are vegetarian or vegan. So yes, that is my story. I hope it is helpful to you guys. Like I said, I'm going to do a video next about kind of my natural standards and what I'm willing to deal with, and then after that I'm going to do a little bit of like how to shop and how to like still have a good boutique shopping experience, you know, wandering through Sephora, wandering through the drugstore with these standards in mind. So I'll see you guys then. Stay tuned. Bye.